So let's continue on and look at exercise 2. Use the information in the following table to answer the next 4 questions. The table provides production function information for Jimmy's auto service shop. Assume Jimmy hires only labor and capital to produce his services. Furthermore, the price of labor is $100 per worker per week, and the price of capital is $10 a unit. So this will be very important information because this will help us relate cost at some point. So here we have quantity of workers, quantity of capital, and total output per week. But notice this time that capital is fixed and labor is variable. So if you look at the change in labor, it'll be 1 unit. But before we go and answer some questions, let's apply this $100 per worker per week. So 0 times 100 is 0. 1 times 100 is 100. 2, 3, 4, and 5. So this here, what I just created, is how much you're paying per week for your labor. And recall that capital is $10 a unit. So take the following numbers here, and 10 times 10 is 100. So from here, we are able to figure out some cost. So now this table tells us the cost of labor, quantity of labor and its cost, quantity of capital and its cost, and total output per week. So now let's try to answer these questions. Jimmy's fixed cost of production equals what? Well, from up here, it's 100. If we're talking about per week. And so, per unit. So I'm going to say that the answer is B. Jimmy's variable cost of production is constant and equals to 100 per week, given the available information. Varies with level of output that is produced, is always greater than his fixed cost, and decreases as the level of production increases due to diminishing marginal returns. Well, let's see. If I want to know what my variable cost is, well, 0 is less than 100. And so it can't always be equal to 100. And it's not always greater than his fixed cost. So right off the bat, we can eliminate A and C. What else are we looking for? Is it decreasing? Well, as I increase workers, it's actually increasing. And it's increasing as output increases. So D must not be right. And so therefore, the only answer that's viable is B, varies with the level of output that is produced. Jimmy's total cost of producing 700 units is, well, let's go back to the table. So here's 700 units, right? Well, 400 for quantity of labor plus 100, so the total cost is 500. So let's see which of these answers agrees with that. Is equal to the amount of fixed and variable cost of producing this level of output. Well, that sounds right. 500, which also sounds right, and is greater than his total cost of producing 600 units. Well, let's check. Well, the total cost here, 300 plus 100 is 400. And 400 is less than 500. So C looks to be true too. And so our answer is D. A, B, and C are all true. Be very careful when you're reading these types of problems, because you want to argue which thing is wrong. In this case, none of them were wrong. So Jimmy's marginal cost of producing the 700th unit of output is equal to what? Well, luckily for us, we have the change in cost. So what is the change in cost? Well, that's equal to 100, because that's just taking 500 minus 400. And the change in quantity is 100. So divided by, oops, sorry about that. Little malfunction here. The change in quantity is equal to 100. And so what 100 over 100 represents is it's $1 per unit. So let's see if any of those match our answers. And it's D, $1 per unit of output. So these answer exercise 2.